Oh,
Listen, man. To get to this last topic, and I know this is what everybody was waiting for, basically. But how do Black people control Black spaces from non-Black people? And just to have a little bit of backstory in this, I know everybody's been going crazy about this Just Pearly things. Just if you're not familiar, Just Pearly is a content creator on YouTube. Is very popular. I think she has over 1 million subscribers. But she talks about dating and relationships. But at least in my perspective, when I first seen Pearly Things, she had more of a this is a white woman we're talking about. She had much more of a white panel of audience. But then I slowly started to see her transition into having more Black people on her panel, Black women on her panels, things of that nature. When I think about the VladTVs of the world, you know what I mean, of the Adam 22, the No Jumpers, these are white people that's contributing to Black spaces or profiting from either the trauma of Black people, the dysfunction of Black people, and making a profit. And when I look at it, I'm like, hey, I don't see any Black people in any white entertainment spaces. Like, there's no Black people interviewing country singers, or you know what I mean. So my thing is, how do Black people as a whole stop these type of things? Even when we talk about Jerry Springer and Maury, these are people who made a living off of the dysfunction within the Black community that didn't look like us. You get what I'm saying? But they made a profit off of our dysfunction, obviously. So what are your thoughts on that whole situation? How do Black people control these spaces for ourselves without letting people come in and interfere?
Eli, we
I,
got to own. We have to own. And I think a lot of us, going back to you mentioned Maury and Jerry Springer. I used to come home to watch Jerry Springer, but go back to Norman Lear. I did, me and my grandmama, Lord. But anyway, quality upbringing. But yeah, Norman Lear, Take It Back, Good Times, all of that kind of stuff. They created these shows off of basically the dysfunction of Black folks. But fast forward now, you have the Byron Allens. I mentioned him because as much as I think Tyler Perry is doing great things, do I always love his content? No, but I think that he has at least tried to own. No shade on Just Pearly Things. She doing her thing, but if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. That's what I say. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And she has come in and occupied. She doing her thing, I just think that we either own or create what we want to see, create spaces like this, what you guys are doing here, which I think is dope. Keep doing stuff like this and showing your faces. And I think that that's one of the ways that we can continue to grow with quality content like y'all doing.
I think as a community, I think we have to stop turning our trauma and turning our struggles into entertainment for whatever reason. I'm not sure where that started. I'm not sure why we started doing it, but like a lot of the stereotypes that, especially like black women deal with a lot of stereotypes that are simply just pushed through media and movies all day, every day. And it's like, it's weird to see, because if you actually go into the Black community and see like single motherhood, right? I call single motherhood the equivalent to being from the ghetto or being from the trenches, right? Nobody from the hood wants to be in the hood, if that makes sense. Like, nobody from the hood is going to choose, I want to go back to the hood. I promise you, if most people, if we would stop tuning in, if we would stop paying attention to all these people like the Adam 22s and like even the no jumper nonsense, right? You'll see like Blueface and Krishan on there, but you'll never see somebody like the Obamas. You'll never see somebody with some sort of substance and somebody trying to be better in the community on a show like that. Why? Because it doesn't give clicks. Positivity in this world, under this environment, don't give clicks. It doesn't get attention. It doesn't get likes. It doesn't get any type of motion, because it doesn't produce any type of division between us. So why would they like it, if that makes sense? And I think it's up to us to really stop glorifying and stop allowing people to use our struggles as entertainment, in a sense of like, I feel like people try to put us in a circus without us knowing, and then
but we allow it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. It's because we allow the money to become, we take the money over values, like, you know what I mean? So of course I can act like a clown, they pay me, right? We always talk about getting to this bag, and these white people, they see it, you know what I mean? They see how money hungry we are and how willing we are to lower our standards if they throw the right amount of money in our faces, you know what I mean? And I think that's something that we need to really address in our community. it's not all money is good money. You know what I mean?
And Eli, to your point, I saw, and I want y'all to go see that movie Air, the Michael Jordan thing that's coming out, because what I saw in that movie was a Black mother that totally pulled for her son. And when y'all see that, you know, and just the Black family dynamic too, overall Black family, because I'm big on Black family, Black love, and the Black man. I'm big on those three things. But what y'all will see in that movie is not just the money, but how can we secure our family for the future? And a lot of us as Black people, we like, oh, okay, I'll take that. Let me go sign it on the dotted line. Let me get that advance. Go on, give me that check. Give me the advance. Versus, what other profit can I make off of this? You know, I'm set. You want my name on these shoes, but how is this gonna help my family down the line? You want my name on this this track? How is this gonna help my family down the line? We look at just hurry up and give us versus how it grow us in the future.
Yes, that is so true. Like, we'll accept anything for that dollar because we want that $1 million house. But you know, am I gonna get my royalties? Matter of fact, let me up the royalty. You talking about 5? Let me get 20. Like, we just settling. But to answer the question, I don't think I don't see nothing wrong with letting races mix together and be on some type of show. I think that it's okay. But what I see from us is that we're expecting these people to not say nothing. What they are, they can't help themselves. I think that it's, to me, it don't matter to me. That's who they are. That's what they're gonna believe. There's no way they're gonna understand where we come from. Because they're not us. So when they say something off the rip, don't be mad. I mean, you could be mad, but don't let it be like, damn, I didn't see that coming. You did see that coming. You see where he grew up. What are you talking about? Like, even us, sometimes we could say things that we can't say on here, but we say in our family, like, damn, that, you know, whatever we normally say about them, we say that in our own places. So as much as we say it, let them be able to say what they want. Some of them don't even know what the hell they're talking about. So let them look silly. And then we in the back, we could laugh about it, or you could check them if you want to and have like a debate, but it's just going to be a healthy debate. Why should we let other people come in? Is because it's just diversity. If we could stick to each other. Yeah, I think we should own more, like what Samantha is saying. Definitely, we should own more Black. Let a Black business be a Black business, sure. You don't have to let other people in, but you are competing against them. So don't you want them around to learn more things? Because you can learn from them too, just like they can learn from us. Don't you want them around so you can learn your competitors? If
you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Yeah,
right.
I mean, it's one thing to like. I've heard, like, Black people, we so quick to be kumbaya with everybody, and everybody don't be kumbaya with us. So, you know, like, again, with the Just Pearly Thing situation, is again, she went from having panels of just white women and white men discuss dating to now exclusively only having Black people. There's no diversity there. It's just she understands there's a lot of trauma going on in this community. Let me profit off of it. You know what I mean? So when she's having conversations about why are Black women the least married, why is a white woman talking about why Black women are the least married? Like, you get what I'm saying? That to me doesn't make sense. And obviously, when we talk about the Adam 22s, this is a guy who made, or the VladTVs. These are people who have heavily involved themselves in Black culture, whether it's hip hop, and made a living off of it. You get what I'm saying? There's no diversity. It's not like you bring in white artists and Black artists and having a good conversation. You just specifically going after one demographic because you see how profitable it is, and you see how much we like tune into the negativity and things of that nature. So that's my only issue with the Just Pearly Things, is that, you know, again, I seen her make that transition. I don't know if it was organic or if she seen something there and was like, you know what, let me profit off this motherfucker. And she has been profiting off of it, obviously. Right. You know, she took the whole Kevin Samuels blueprint and just applied it to herself. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, but, you know, it's just, I think we're just too forgiving. And again, when these people do make mistakes, we are the first ones to try to make excuses for them. We try to, she didn't really mean it like this. But when it's our own people, we're quick to try to cancel them. We're quick to not listen to them. You know what I mean? We make all these excuses for ourselves, but we give these other non-Black people all these outs and make excuses for them. Like, you know what I mean?
And to that, I know when Love and Hip Hop, that's owned by a Black woman, right? she was getting
Mona
yeah,
Scott Young.
she was getting all this flack because they were saying that she promoting all this negativity and violence in the Black community. But Maury been doing it for years, know what I mean? And nobody never said nothing to him, know what I mean? So it's like we don't go back and fix the root of the problem. Like, why are women on a show trying to find who the father of the child is? Like, we need to go back and fix why she don't know who the father of her child is in the first place. Now I mean, she want to be in that show.
The motherfuckers is glued into their seats. Like, oh, he not the father. Oh shit. Like, you know what I mean? So
Another thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Another thing is some people feel more comfortable from hearing it from a white person than okay. So I'll even bring up the Puffy thing, which most people can relate to. Like people will not want to sign with Puffy for $1 million deal, but will sign with Sony, who's run by a white person who's giving you the same motherfucking deal. But because you're Black, there's no trust, and you're trying to rob me. But that other man, whatever he is robbing you the same motherfucking way. And I'm not making excuses for him. I'm just saying that we tend to not trust each other or work for each other and believe what somebody else says to us, if you get what I'm saying.
That whole thing, whose ice is colder? Like, I go buy my ice from a white man or a white person when your brother's selling the same ice. Whose ice is colder? And Eli, yeah, because and I hate that it's called, we got to just deprogram it. But with the whole and this might be somebody's career title, so forgive me, but the diversity and inclusion, I can't stand that title, because I think that goes back even into Black folks. We always want to diversify and include people when we always on the sidelines. The whole Black and brown, no, Black and brown this, Black and brown that, no, Black. Why do we always have to include other people and everything that we do, and nobody includes us? And you know, we have to look at that, and what the Maury's and what you mentioned, the Just Pearly Things, it ain't nothing but what Ricky Lake and them was doing back in the day. And now you got these new talk shows that's watered down into the hokey pokey, oh, the deal of the day. No, address the problems as Black people. I don't care about deal of the day. I don't care about the drink cocktail that you can make for Father's Day for your father. Talk about the real issues, and that's what we are not really doing. But when you do, it comes with flack from our own, unfortunately. So the young lady you mentioned is able to capitalize off of a void that we consistently poke at for somebody trying to move us in a positive direction. This is why, you know, and I'll mention Kevin, but he got the flack for that. He got flack for this, for doing what a lot of these shows are already doing to us, but in trying to spin it positively.
And just like you said, Ms. Samantha, just like you said, like we're allowing it. We're like, they're not forcing these people to be on these shows. They're not forcing people to be on the talk shows. They're not forcing the Love and Hip Hops. They're not forcing anybody to do this. People are doing this up for their own free will. And I think that, you know, clout is one hell of a drug. Am I going to be seen if I do this? Am I like going to get, like you said, money? I think greed also comes into play with that as well. Like I'm getting paid for it, so I'm willing to coon. I'm willing to be a monkey in a cage for some bread. I
think we underestimate how much of our lives are literally indoctrination. I think, like, and my generation is on the cusp of like realizing this, because almost all of these issues that we face as Black people stem from some form of indoctrination, stem from some form of push stereotype, stem from some form of like, you're programmed to think this way. And as soon as that is figured out and everybody's like, wait, we think like this on purpose, this is exactly how they want us to think, we would all stop thinking like that. Whether you're talking about single motherhood, whether you're talking about deadbeat dads, whether you're talking about passport bros, whether you're talking about independent Black, it don't matter. They want us that it goes hand in hand. If they didn't want us to think like this, they wouldn't be using our struggles as entertainment. It literally is a and think. It goes like right there. And I think Lady made a real good point when it comes to, you can't argue or debate somebody out of their ignorance. They're there in that position that they are because of their ignorance. They're not us. They're never going to be us. They don't know what it is to be us. I don't know. And it's even deeper than that. I don't know what it's like to be a Black woman. I would never wish a menstrual cycle on my worst. I don't. I wouldn't. I know what it's like to be that. But we would stop if we could just get out of this indoctrination and really realize how big the scale is when it comes to the people in power and the 1%, and how people that want us to keep each other, that they don't even have to do it to us no more. We do it to ourselves.
We do it to ourselves.
When they blew up the black household, that was the beginning. Like that it still trickled down to what is now. They're literally re-implying Jim Crow laws in Mississippi right now. And we're so focused on Krishan and Blueface, and we're so focused on, Jay-Z's daughter, and we're so focused on whether LeBron James's son is going to make it to the NBA, that we literally, nobody talks about it. You feel me? It took for them to, like, even on TikTok, it took for them to want to ban the app completely for us to do any form of unification and waking up as to what it is the government and everything else got really going on. You feel me? So I think, just to sum all up of what I'm saying, and I know I'm, but if we get out of this indoctrination and we can step out of the matrix that they've put and installed in our households and our neighborhoods, we will literally get to the point where we don't need them, and that's what we're scared of.
They know that. They know that. Yeah, we in a straight matrix.
Yeah.
I think that we got to go back to like Hancho said. I think Hancho and Samantha, somebody said about ownership. When I look at entertainment, I'm not mad at the entertainment, but if we're not the ones that's controlling it or profiting from it, then that's when it becomes an issue. Just like when you think about the NBA, that's like 80% black athletes, or the NFL, and there's barely any black owners. You know what I mean? Like when you think about the hip hop industry, that's $1 trillion industry, but there's really no black owned record labels. All of the black, like, you know what I mean? We don't control a lot of our culture, unfortunately. And then, when we have these people that come into the culture and profit off of it, is this something that they've been doing? You get what I'm saying? Like, we just got to get back to trying to get to ownership level and controlling or profiting from our own culture, because we spend trillions of dollars every year, black people alone. You know what I mean? And a lot of it isn't on black owned brands. You know what I mean? It's on Louis, Gucci, all these white designer brands, the Benz, all of this stuff that's not black owned. You get what I'm saying? Imagine if we put that money into ourselves, investing into ourselves, we'd probably be in a way better scenario than we are now. Not even probably, we would definitely be in a way better scenario. So
let them try to down Wall Street today. Let them do that today. Let them try.
I think the education
system,
like that. Yeah, I think the education system definitely has a huge effect on things like that. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I went to school, the only thing I was taught was slavery and after. I was not taught.
They start you with that. They start you to. They make sure you know.
They make sure to tell us you were slaves. That's all you came from.
The education system is antiquated anyway. They need to just update that whole thing. I being a college graduate, sometimes I'm like, did I even really need college? Because of the stuff that they were teaching is archaic. A lot of that is archaic teaching. I just racked up a bill. It is. I racked up a bill, and I think that ownership is key. But what y'all doing with the Daily Wrap Up crew, and even you mentioned like cars, why can't we own a car line? Like why can't we? But we have to start doing the stuff to do it and putting it into play. So
I hate to be the evil person, but it's the same reason why some black people can't have a supermarket, because other black people going to walk in and be like, well, I'm not getting no discount. I'm going to these schools and fuck you. You know what I'm saying? We need to stop.
We do need to stop.
It's that, and then it's confidence. Like you mentioned, why can't we have our own cars lots? We can. You just gotta literally. It's so easy. Go buy. You know how
I'm talking about a whole car brand, a brand.
A brand.
Tesla.
Like a Mercedes.
It's like y'all said. It's a group of us coming together. But see, we all, I think, have to fix our traumas, because we don't. Some of us hate each other, which is the weirdest thing to me. We have to love each other in order for us to come together. Once that happened, yeah, sure, we could have our own car brand, because we all have to come, like all of us on this panel alone can make a great product. But let's say half of us be like, nah, I ain't gonna do that, right? Because they already putting in, oh, I don't trust you, nah, I don't like what he said, I don't like what he did, and then damn, half of us already gone. Now the rest of us, let's say the other 4 of us are like, damn, now we need more people. Who we gonna get? And you're gonna go in this damn cycle of finding good people. Then you're gonna start grabbing other races, because you're like, What am I supposed to do?
We're also not protecting the person that need to be protected. I remember, like, even though, great men like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King was assassinated, but a lot of Black people protected them for the most part when they could. And I remember there was a man who built a car engine that can be filled with water or something like that. I heard he got passed, he got killed.
Oh, no,
You know what I'm saying? So there's Black people with great opportunity for success. Dr. Sebi, we never really, helped his message be spread. We just like, oh, well, he making money. You get what I'm saying? I think we need to focus on protecting the Black person that has the right message that we all want to push, that we all agree on, and, invest. Like, we may have to invest. We may have to spend some money so they can get to there, so we can get to there. You get what I'm saying? I think we're so scared, like, oh, I don't want them getting rich. We need to stop thinking like that and invest into somebody that we can believe in, that can help us.
I like that. Have we had another Malcolm X or Martin Luther King? Have we had another Huey? You know what I'm saying? Well, have we had any? Have we? I'm asking y'all, have we had that person?
Anytime we try,
we replaced them with celebrities and social media influencers. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's who we look up to, unfortunately, now. Like, you know what I mean?
Or they're taking our pages down, kind of like, everybody now is on social media. This is how we learn stuff today. They'll delete a page in a minute. You know what I mean? So it's like we got to find other ways to communicate to our community other than, supporting certain channels. So
do y'all think that Kevin was on that road? Kevin Samuels,
I believe Kevin, Kobe Bryant, and Nipsey Hussle was all on that road.
Okay. Look, and they all dead. Yeah.
Doing what he was doing to pull enough people together to start making systematic changes, they would have knocked him off. He would have disappeared suddenly. That's how they. You gotta.
Some people might say his death is a big conspiracy. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So,
we were raised in.
He was right here.
That literally teaches people that Jesus Christ was a white dude. Think about it. We're really raised in a society that people everywhere. I spent 7 to 8 years.
We believed it.
I lived in the Bible.
Craziest part.
Literally, everywhere you go, all over these church walls is a white dude with blue
eyes, long hair,
long, stringy hair. Like, that's literally the system. And everybody else is cool with it, and because of that, I guess we're just cool with it. Like, I hate how sleep we are. You feel me? If that makes sense.
Just like Huncho said when he's talking about indoctrination, I think the Black community is indoctrinated to believe that we can't go far. Like, I think that we are indoctrinated. I think we're indoctrinated. We're taught that, oh, you're Black, so if this don't happen, it's because you're Black. So it's like, oh, I'm Black, so I ain't gonna go very far. So
we scared of success.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like I think once we get out of, just like Huncho said, once we get out of that indoctrination and realize, oh damn, I can do like more. I think once we get out of that and start teaching our kids.
You talking about decades of programming? That's going to be tough.
I know, but it starts with us as when it starts with us personally, and then when we start having, if we do decide to start having kids, that's how it starts. Of course, you're not going to change the whole world. Of course, everyone's mind isn't going to change, but it starts with you as you personally. And then when you start having kids, then teach your kids what the education system refuses to teach them. That's how that works. It starts in the house.